you to move on. There are plenty of other queer options for you to date.
Like who? What about Chantel? Hell no. She's tried to put a love spell on me at least 6 times.
Wait, what about AJ?
Why would I ever do that? That's Gabby's sister.
Hey, what about Amy?
Gateway gay. She's fingered every girl in the school.
So what? I'm sure she's washed her hands.
Yeah. Hey. Are you coming out today? I've been out for a really long time. I'm extremely gay. I was actually talking about track tryouts. Right. Maybe I'll see you later.
Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. Okay, I'm so excited. We have another queer young adult rom-com. It's called Crush, and it tells the story of a young aspiring artist who joins her high school track team and later discovers what love really feels like when she finds herself falling for one of her unexpected teammates. The film stars Rowan Blanchard and Auli'i Cravalho, and I'm so excited to be chatting with Auli'i right now. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us at the LA Media Awards. It was nice to see you.
Thank you. I had such a fun time that night. Oh my gosh.
Yes, so many feels. And this film on Hulu, available April 29th. Let me tell you, I'm one of the lucky ones. I got a chance to see it already. It's so great. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's sweet. All of the things. But for you, I can't help but wonder, thinking, you're 21 now, on your, with your journey, what would it have meant to you to see a film like this when you were younger, to see, this really cute, adorable, relatable love story between two girls in high school?
It probably would have inspired me to be more camp. Like, I would have just put it more out there, to be honest. I came out a few years ago on TikTok. There was a whole thing. It was during the pandemic. Nobody had anything else to talk about, and suddenly it blew up. But I never really felt the need to come out because I've just always known that I was queer. And to play a character like AJ, who also knows that, like, this is just a core part of her identity, but to have our film not center around a coming out story, like, these elements are so important because it just makes our film more joyful and vibrant to focus on something other than sexuality, but still portray it.
Yeah, and I think what I love so much about this, and I'm not going to spoil anything, is that the reaction amongst the other kids with sexuality, and there's girls and girls together, there's boys and boys together, and it's very much not a thing. It's just a part of, like, who people are. What was it like to be a part of just kind of telling a story that just shows the world? And I think there's so much impact for families to see this, that it's okay to be whoever you are.
Absolutely. Truly, what I am learning is that what we see in film and media affects how people are treated in real life. So to have representation, most of our cast are queer and are out and are so proud about it. And also our writers of Crush, Kirsten King and Casey Rackham, and our director, Sammy Cohen, like, we are all part of the queer community. So when we make fun of ourselves in this film, it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, it is on the nose. It's so Gen Z. And it's refreshing. It really is. I'm very proud of our film.
That's so great. And Rowan Blanchard plays Paige, the other central character in this film. What was it like to get to be opposite her and to, really make this film together?
I felt like it was such an important film to make. And I think that Rowan did a wonderful job playing Paige. And our relationship between Paige and AJ is one that I think kind of hits some of the tropes of, like, an intellectual kind of almost enemies to lover relationship where, like, we're teasing each other, and that's hot. You know what I mean? Like, when you have two intellectual characters chatting it up and teasing, like, you feel the tension. And that was something that I felt like we really played very well.
How much fun was it, though, really? I mean, yes, it's so important. The storyline is impactful, but you all look like you were having so much fun. I was laughing out loud many times.
Thank you so much. We have an incredible cast. I mean, we have Asif Manvi, Michelle Buteau, and Megan Mullally. So, like, there is so much humor in this. And it's one of the best rom-coms that I've personally read. And that's why I lended my voice to it, because I had a great time filming it.
Yes, and let me tell you, a sex-positive Megan Mullally, I am here for it.
I know.
So fun. Thinking, you mentioned about your coming out publicly, during the pandemic, because like you said, what else do we have to do? And, but what was it like? Because you said it did blow up. I think it's so important for bi representation and inclusion to have these conversations. What was it like for you to really just see so many people respond so positively? And I'm sure so many young people out there, especially, felt seen and inspired to also, explore that part of themselves.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. I posted it at like 3 a.m. It was not anyway. I the amount of comments that I got of just like thank you, and the texts that I received from family and friends who were like, oh, you're making us so proud, like thank you for coming out and saying that and being so public about it and being so brave. And I hadn't thought of it in that way before, and I didn't think of like the macro of it all on a macro scale, like the importance now that I am a young woman of color, that I'm a young Hawaiian, because we don't have very many Hawaiians in this industry, and also that I'm queer, and for any role that I take on, whether they be outwardly queer or not, like I put a little bit of spice, that's just who I am. And so I'm really proud of the representation that we see in this film, and I'll always add a little bit of drip, you know what I mean? Like it's just who I am.
How cool was it? I mean, what did it mean to you though? I mean, I think, you said 2020, you publicly came out, and then flash forward to now 2022 to get to play such a interesting, strong, but also vulnerable character on screen who just happens to be queer. What did that mean for you personally?
It really just meant that I was playing a well-written young woman,
Yeah.
like we are really all these things. And that's what I mean when the fact that this film isn't centered around a coming out story means that we can just be queer, we can just be who we are as young teenagers as well, and navigating a high school space and navigating a first crush and what that means, but also just adding the humor in, because we realize that we need that. Like humor is life-saving, especially within queer communities, and to find your chosen family and to create art, like all of these themes are so important.
What do you hope that, because I think with the power of streaming, you think about a place like Hulu, there's so much potential for people to find this film, to watch it, whether it's with families or young people. What do you hope that the conversations, and what do you want people to take away from this story? Besides laughing, because we know that'll happen, but the other stuff.
Yes. I hope that people take away from this film that, one, people are gay. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. If you didn't know by now, people are gay. and I hope that when dealing with topics of love, that we don't shy away from sex positive stories simply because we haven't seen them before, or like we're afraid that it might scare other people. And this is where representation comes in. To have writers and a director that are also queer means that you are creating more of a diverse and inclusive script, and that changes people's minds, that broadens people's minds, that changes people's hearts, because what they see on screen affects people in real life. And I hope that people love this film as much as I do, because it's about love, and you get to see people kiss, and I love love, like girls are soft and they smell good, and like there's just so much to love.
I love that. And let me tell you, everyone, I think you all are going to love this film. Auli'i, it's a pleasure to catch up with you. Thank you again for supporting us at the GLAAD Media Awards in LA. And thanks for making this film with everyone. And I'm so excited to be chatting with Rowan right now. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I just got out of the shower. So
I love it.
Crazy.
Fresh and clean. But this film is so fun. It's so sweet. I think about all of the families and the kids that will see this, especially thinking about this story, which obviously is about, a romance between two young girls in high school. What would it have meant for you to have seen a film like this back when you were younger?
I did see movies like this when I was younger, but there's just
I
not
know
very
I forgot you're way younger than I am because I didn't see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but the ones I saw, came out a long time ago, like But I'm a Cheerleader. I mean, there's so many, like there's a handful of gay movies that didn't come out necessarily when I was growing up, but that I watched. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to contribute to like the archive of lesbian movies.
No spoilers, but you are opposite Auli'i Cravalho. The two of you have such a great time together on screen. I loved watching the two of you. What was it like to kind of get to share this experience with another queer actress and making this film together?
It was just a really great group of people all around. I mean, all of us cared so deeply about the project. The director, Sammy, really like put so much energy into making sure it was like a real, honest, safe space. And I don't know, everybody in the film, Auli'i, Isabella, Tyler, Tila, everybody just made it I don't know, we just were all really excited and like celebratory the whole time we were filming, because it's just such a sweet project, and I think we were all really excited to do something that was being gay is like only one of like the parts of the movie. It's not like it doesn't feel like the focus of the movie.
Totally. And I think that's interesting because so many times, which is important too, we get the coming out story, which is, like I said, important. But this one, it's not a coming out story. The queer characters are very much, it's like you said, a part of who they are, but it's not like the focus. And what is it like to kind of be a part of telling these stories and making these films that are just a little bit more progressive when it comes to queer inclusion?
What is it like to be a part of them? I mean, I feel like I didn't set out, to want to make something queer ever, like specifically, just like I just feel like as an actress, I'm just like trying to pick good parts. But I think what attracted to me about the movie was just that I thought Paige was a really fun character and everybody was a really fun character. And I never have to have a scene where I'm like sobbing about coming out, which is like, like you said, like it's great that those exist too. But I just thought that it was nice that there's a lightness to it and it's comedic. And yeah, I was excited to be funny in a movie.
All right, so Rowan, your mom is played by Megan Mullally, who is a very sex positive character, we will say. What was it like to get to kind of have those comedic scenes with her?
Oh, I fucking love Megan. Her and me just got along so immediately on set, and she's so hilarious. And it was so fun just kind of riffing off of each other in these scenes. Yeah, she was there for a couple of weeks, and I got to spend some time with her outside of work, and I was just really excited about meeting her because I think she's so funny, and I think she's so great in this movie. Honestly, she's probably my favorite part when I saw it. I just think she's so hilarious, and you can't beat her voice. Her voice is just amazing.
Did you watch Will and Grace? Were you a fan of that?
I mean, I've seen like some episodes. I can't that I like have like seen Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Completely. But yeah.
Highly recommend it. So when you have some free time. But with this movie, which reminder everyone is called Crush. It is a wonderful love story about these two young women in high school, and it's gonna be on HULU on April 29th. I think with the power of streaming, there is such an opportunity for so many people to see this, whether it's families, whether it's young kids, whether it's, middle-aged people. What do you want people that see this film to take away from it?
I hope that it brings people like kind of that, I don't know, I feel like there's a genre that we don't see too often anymore of like rom-com and things that give you like that funny, that make you laugh but also have like really sincere tender moments but maintain like I said, a lightness. So I mean, I'm just I really love movies in that genre, so I just hope that it, I don't know, I hope that it brings people that sort of like smile to their faces, I hope.
I definitely smiled. And Rome, before I let you
Yeah.
go, I think, you know, we're doing a lot of work at GLAAD to for social media safety. We're calling on a lot of people to be more responsible when it comes, because I think when you think about LGBTQ kids out there, there's a lot of vulnerabilities. And I know you have so many followers. What's your advice for LGBTQ kids out there to kind of navigate social media and not, you know, get lost in some of the not so pleasant parts of it?
Um, I mean, there's so much community online. So I feel like obviously you can't, you can't wean out everything that you don't want to see or that you don't want to be reminded of. But I think if, I don't know, I know for me, it's helpful to, and for people I know, it's helpful to focus on the amount of connections we've made over the past, 10 years or so of like using the internet. Um, it's really, I feel like, especially for, uh, queer people, it's become like a safety net of building your own kind of network. So I don't know, I hope that um, people continue to use it to build community, I guess.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Well, Rowan, it has been a pleasure to catch up. And just a reminder, everyone, that Crush will be available on Hulu on April 29th. It is lovely. It is fun. It's sweet. It's all the things. So make sure you watch it.